According to him, real science is done with experiments by people with relevant training, peer review, and published papers, not FOIA requests, conspiracy theories, and blog posts. The attitude of such, quote, scientists is astounding. With his logic, would he conclude that his scientific contributions are superior to Archimedes of Syracuse, as the latter had no relevant training, and there certainly weren't peer-reviewed journals in the 3rd century BC? And he seemed naive to the fact that peer-reviewed articles are riddled with problems.
And what has happened really is that it's proved almost impossibly difficult to demonstrate the upside of peer review, that it does really make a difference. And maybe that's because we haven't used the right kinds of methods, but there have been all sorts of trials of different methods of peer review, perhaps blinding the reviewers so they don't know the identity of the authors, or the opposite, opening it all up, or using a statistician, or training reviewers, all sorts of things. But it's been very, very hard to produce evidence of the upside. There's very little that is convincing, but it's been very easy to produce lots of evidence of the downside. So it's very slow, it's very expensive, it's very inefficient, it's wasting a lot of time. It's something of a lottery if you say to people, should it or shouldn't it be published? It doesn't detect errors. We've done studies where we insert deliberate errors into studies, some of them very gross, and often they are not picked up. There's evidence of bias in the process, bias against the provincial, bias against people from low and middle income countries, even bias against women, favoritism towards people who have very prominent names. It doesn't pick up fraud. It may sometimes pick up fraud, but just because something has been peer reviewed doesn't mean it does. And also, it often rejects the really important breakthrough.